Hello. So in this session, we're going to start talking about facial rigging. And the very first session is to do with concepts. It's mainly research itself, and it's mainly to do with looking at some examples. So this is the order that we're going to follow for the facial rigging. Now, from character to character, and also based on your animation requirements, you perhaps want to limit the number of expressions that you want to have, and the character's face might be different. There are some characters where there's not much attention perhaps to the mouth because of the additional elements, things like beards and mustaches and so on and so forth. Or it could be just simply the character wearing a mask, and we just maybe just be seeing the eyes. And based on the character, there are differences. There isn't just one set rule as such. But in any case, it's good to look at some examples to understand the zones of the face and the points of articulation. So I've got this website called iMotions.com, and they've got a blog where they focus on facial action coding system, as they call it, FACTS. And if you do a bit of a quick research on Wikipedia, you can see a lot of research on this area. It's not just for animation; it's for forensics, criminal investigation, and police department, and so on. So for psychologists, people kind of focus on this area, even businesses. For interview purposes, they want to be able to understand the facial expressions and what they mean. But we're not going to exaggerate it that much, and we're just going to focus on what we need. So the order is to focus on the eyelids, the brows, the lips, the nose, mouth, jaw, the corner of the mouth, squints, cheeks, and also maybe have some combination shapes. So I'm just going to zoom in and out of this website. So I'll focus on, start with a blink, for example. So in this case, you can see it's not just the top eyelid, we've got a bit of a change on the bottom eyelid. Also, we've got the corner of the eyebrows. This muscle is coming down. And if we check the squint, both eyelids are compressed with the eyebrows, and also we can see the cheeks, even the muscles around the mouth, the nose as well. Okay, so that's eye closed. That's an interesting one. There's a bit of a motion there. It's not necessarily to do with the jaw itself, it's the chin, the muscle on the chin, and the skin sliding. So the mouth stretch, not necessarily stretched sideways, but actually the jaw opens, and you can see this almost like the American football shape. We achieve that through the creative blend shapes of the jaw. I'm going to show you one of them. The jaw drop is basically the translation of the jaw, not necessarily rotation. This is something that you might need, lip tightener. Now, people have different names for stuff like this, just be aware of that. Okay. This is an interesting one as well. That's pucker or puckerer. So nothing to do with the bone, primarily the muscle. That's an interesting one. You can see the bottom part of the lip, especially the middle. Not much happens, ever slightly, but the top stretches a lot. So that's the lip corner depressor. So that's the stretch sideways, and also it goes up ever so slightly. It's not difficult to achieve, but it's actually it's in this one that both the bottom, the chin, top part of the lip, the bottom part of the lip, it all kind of goes up a bit and slides and stretches. This is good for smile. So stretch sideways, backwards, and then up. This is to do with the nose, especially if you want to, apologies. If you want to kind of create something like a disgust or some kind of a bit of a cocky response from someone. There we go. That's the upper lip raiser, nose wrinkler, especially if somebody's getting angry or a bit of vicious or wild. Cheek raiser is the one that we need, especially for a smile. That's just lid opener, but it's actually been multiplied. So that's the overall brow eyebrows. It's actually inner eyebrow primarily leading the charge, and then the rest follows. That's kind of challenging. This one, not everyone can do it, especially, I mean, I find it difficult to do this, to do it right and the left. But if you've got a mirror, you can test it, and you can see there's a bit of a wrinkle there, stretch. Not much happens to the eyelid to a certain extent, you can see, but there is a bit of a muscle there. That's the inner brow. That's the outer brow. Okay, these are the main actions. You can go through this website, iMotions.com blog, facial action coding system, facts, a visual guidebook. There is a short PDF as well, but the GIF files are good. Just gonna zoom out. These are the head turns if you want to emphasize any muscles or flexing around the neck. These are good to look at what happens there. This can be achieved through corrective blend shapes. The stuff on the neck primarily. I mean, as secondary elements. So let's look at the eyes. That's kind of a fleshy eye. So the the eyelids follow. Okay. So let's look at some of the emotions. So this is kind of a combination. Now, if you go to Wikipedia, and if you're serious about this, you can do your research. And where it says, for example, if you've got action code of 6 plus 12, then you get happiness, and 1 plus 4 plus 15. When they're combined, you get sadness and then surprise and so on and so forth. So there are a list of codes, and then what muscles actually are part of that code in a way. It's discussed in this document. The research, I think, has been done by Paul Ackman, I believe. Yeah, it's Ackman's. So yeah, if you're keen on diving deep into this subject, you can do your research. So sadness. I think my page has gone crazy a bit. Just gonna reset it. Primarily, it's the eyes actually given I believe it's the eyelids that actually, and the eye pupil itself in a way, that gives us this feeling, because this could also be seen as, someone getting angry a bit. Let's see, surprise. So both eyebrows, inner, mid, and the outer, are risen different, and we've got a bit of an opening of the eyelids a bit more. Yeah, you can see that. This is the fear. Anger. That's an interesting one. Somebody's planning a revenge of some sort. Okay. Disgust. Okay, so you can go through this. Contempt, that's an interesting one. Okay, so yeah, so that's that. And also I've got some examples, professional examples. Okay, so this is Eric Miller. Now these guys are pioneers in this area when 3D, when Maya was just starting and it was part of Alias, not Autodesk. These guys were working heavily on these things and pushing facial rigging. So Eric Miller was very good in this area. The model was done by Jeff Unai, and Eric was the facial rigger. He spent a lot of time on this, and there are some examples of blend shapes on this creature. So, for example, what would you have in terms of the lip roll, the upper lip curl, and the in-between shapes, the lower lip, and then in-between shapes, pushing the mouth back and forth, this area. That's the lip corners, backwards and forwards and sideways, inward pull, outward stretch. This document can be found online. It's free. It's part of I think part of a conference. So if you type Hyperreal Facial Rigging 2, and also 1 as well, but if you want to look at the examples, just type on Google and you can find it. I don't want to repost this. I can post a link, I believe, but I don't want to repost the PDF document. I don't know whether we're allowed or not, but you can check that online on the I believe it's on SIGGRAPHs, one of the SIGGRAPHs archives. So from left to right, so you've got the the cheeks as sucked in, puffed out with the lips and everything. The cheeks up, you can see, and down, like a squint of some sort. So you've got the nose flare. Apologies, the PDF documents images are not of high quality. I'm hoping that you can see them. Outward, inwards, nose downward, upward, and then nose crinkled, sneer or snarl. The eye shapes, you can see squinted eyes, eye blinks. So the brows, again, this is from character to character, it can change. So you've got the inner brow stretched that way, and then inwards, downwards, upwards, and creating different shapes. Okay, and then if you want to have custom shapes, so if your character has got a good topology and you can transform it, if you would like to transform it into another creature of some sort, let's say in this case, let's say if this guy wants to be a werewolf or something like that, and the topology does allow it to happen, then that transformation can be shown through blend shapes. And then this is the important thing to do with corrective blend shapes, especially for the jaw. So most likely you will, once you've done your skin waves, your characters are going to have this shape. But when the jaw opens, you want to be able to have something like this. Again, it's based on characters. It changes from character to character, but on average, that's what we want to achieve. Like to a certain extent, a bit of an American football shape, where the top lip is a bit straight like this, and then you've got a nice, to a certain extent, a bit of a V shape there coming down, and then a round lip. That can be achieved through the corrective shapes. I think I've got one on my character. So let's go back to Maya, but I would like to finish the video with a naming convention. So in terms of naming convention, for example, if you're dealing with the right inner eyebrow up and down, that's R inner eye, BRWUD up and down. If it's if it's say if something to do with forwards and backwards, so that's going to be FB, just something like this. And if it's going to be left, then we're going to replace that with L. Just make sure you've got a naming convention that you can recognize and you can understand. And so in the next session, we're going to talk about the tools. And then from there onwards, we're going to start our facial rig. So I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.